Hello, happy Monday, and welcome to another day of swing trading with the Day Tradestor. We started off today with a pretty decent recovery. Let me zoom in on my daily chart here. You can see we opened higher than our close on Friday, so that was a pretty decent recovery from this move down. We've gotten back roughly half of our unrealized losses since Thursday. And unrealized losses are from Tuesday of last week. We went from 66.90, we'll just call it 66.99, down to 65.67. And we'll just call that $130 of unrealized losses. And the reason they're unrealized losses is because we didn't really sell a great deal of stocks out of all of the equities that we had. We certainly did sell some as they hit our sell triggers and activated those sell alerts. And if we had continuation, we did sell some. But overall, our portfolio, this would affect our overall portfolio, not just a few stocks, but our portfolio has recovered. As I said, roughly half of what we actually went down in our portfolio value, which overall wasn't much. I don't even think it was a 1% drop in those last 3 days. At any rate, we're going to expand this back out. You can see the full chart of the S&P 500 of its gains over the last 3 months here. In reference to any stocks that hit our sell triggers, we did have a couple hit our sell triggers, but we only have one stock where we're actually going to be able to sell anything because we like to sell things at a profit. And the reason we don't have a great deal of stocks that are hitting sell triggers is because, one, we have price going up the last 3 days, and the previous 3 days prior you had price going down, which did indeed actually hit some of our stocks and hit their sell triggers, and we were able to sell some. So we don't have a lot that are going down. The majority of our stocks that we own are in the S&P 500. About 3/4 of those stocks that we own are in the S&P 500. So when the 500 is going up, so are the majority of our other stocks. Now they started out, they tend to mimic or run parallel with the S&P 500. So our stock portfolio somewhat very loosely mimics the moves of the S&P 500. Now the only stock that we actually have to look at that we're going to be selling something at a profit is SoFi. So we had price move down 2 days ago, which would have been Thursday. It crossed our fast moving average, but on Friday, we did not have continuation. Continuation is when price is lower than the close of the candle that caused the trigger. Now, we currently do have price lower than that triggered candle. So that is a continuation of the price crossing below the fast moving average. And with SoFi, I'm maxed out with 72 shares. I like to have 18 shares per book. And each cross, whether it's through the fast moving average or the slow moving average, that's a trigger possible to sell one book. So we will be selling 18 shares. So we'll go into 20 and we'll drop that down to 18, and we're looking to sell at 27.65. See if that goes. And there we go. So from 27.65 to SoFi for stocks that I bought at $24, that's $3.65 profit per share. So we'll just drop that from 365 to 350, and we'll multiply that by 20. Instead of 18 shares, because we're just doing rough math. So 350 times 2 is $7. Excuse me, by 20. We're multiplying by 20, not by 2. So that's $70. So we got $70 rough profit for the sale of those shares of SoFi. All right, now we have 3 stocks that hit their sell triggers, and we are unable to sell those at a profit. So we will be placing sell orders on those stocks. And the first one is going to be CVS, and that's unless price changed direction from this morning when I made the list. So we're looking at CVS. All right, and if you look at this candle, price did change direction. When I looked at the list and I was making my list this morning from the possible sell trigger that was triggered on Thursday last week when we had price move below our fast moving average, which sent the alert. Again, like SoFi, we had price move back above the fast moving average, but then we had it move down today. It opened higher, but then it did, when I looked and was making my list, price was lower, so it made the sell list, but we are currently not going to sell. Not only did we have price Friday move above the fast moving average, opening and moving lower today below the fast moving average, but we're back up at the fast moving average. So we will not be doing anything with CVS. We will not be selling it, nor will we be placing a sell order. We do not have continuation of this downward move. We've got a reverse move. All right, the next one on our list to take a look at is Natera, NTRA. Friday, we had our fast moving average cross below our slow moving average, and when that happens, we want to either sell or place sell orders on all of the shares that we have of this particular stock, of this company. Price is currently sitting at $162.49. With Natera, I like to have 2 shares per book. We currently have 4 shares, so we're going to sell 2 more shares. We're going to be placing a sell order for Natera. Coming into our watch list, right click, we're looking to place a sell order for 2 shares. Now I bought Natera, these 2 shares, at $169.31. So we go to our first place digit, which is in the hundreds place. 10% of 100 is 10 cents. So we're going to be placing a sell order for $169.41. We're adding 10 cents to our purchase price. So $169.41. Good till cancel, extended hours, confirm and send. Now we have all 4 shares are sitting in sell orders. Now I did certainly have 8 shares back here on the 19th. I was able to sell 2 of these shares, or 4 of these shares, half of them at a profit, before we had price move a little too quickly and it moved past our purchase prices. Now that's for these 2 shares. Now these 2 shares I day trade, and price moved down on me before I was able to sell these at a profit. And since my strategy requires that we hold stocks basically until they sell, so we're able to sell at a profit, we currently have a sell order on that and the sell order that we just placed for these 2 today. All right, the last stock that we received a alert on for today is Zoom, ZM. Now, we currently are at a price of $83.82. We have price moved, the fast moving average moved below the slow moving average. On Friday, we have a cross, and we still have price moving down. So that is a continuation of the cross of the fast moving average below the slow moving average. And as I just said, when we have that, we like to either sell or place sell orders on every share that we own within that company. Now, I currently have 8 shares, so we're maxed out with our 2 shares per book. So we will be placing 2 sell orders for 4 shares of stocks. So that'll be 2 books of 2. So we're looking to sell 2 shares, and I bought 2 of the shares that we're placing the sell order, or I bought at $88.80. So we're going to be placing a sell order. We go to our first place digit. 10% of 80 is 8, so we're adding 8 cents to our $88.80. So our sell order is $88.88. Good till cancel, extended hours, confirm and send. Now the next 2 shares that we bought for Zoom were at $89.85. Let's come back into our watch list. Sell, bump this up to 2. As I said, we bought it at $89.85, so we're going to be adding 8 cents to the 85. So our sell order is going to be $89.93. So $89.93. Good till cancel, extended hours, and confirm and send. So now we have all 8 shares sitting here in case price turns around, or in case there's a big spike before it continues down, and it might capture those. But if not, we'll just hold on to these, and they'll be considered bags. And bags are simply stocks or shares that you're holding on to when you could have sold those and used that money to be a little bit more productive into stocks that are moving up in price. That is something that I will do in my strategy. I will put that in, but for right now, that's not part of my strategy. And that's because every stock that I buy, I'm looking at it as a long-term investor. If I can't sell it at a profit, I'll just hold it until I can sell at a profit. Again, this is for long-term investing. I'm swing trading my long-term investments. All right, so we have no more stocks to place sell orders. We certainly do not have any more to purchase. We were able to sell SoFi with roughly $70 in gross profit. So out of the stocks that did trigger our possible buy alerts, I should be able to buy at least one of the company's shares and max those books out. So right now I'll go through the list and look at all the stocks that were triggered and see if we're able to buy. And I'll be right back in. Well, for me it'll be several minutes. For you it'll be pretty much in a second. All right, out of all the stocks that were listed, the only thing I can actually buy is Roku. That's roughly $30 higher than how much we made today on the sale of those SoFi shares. But that isn't that big of a problem because I had maybe a $100 or $200 cushion in the balance from my day trading activities. The remainder of this balance are dedicated towards day trading. So what we have is we had price cross Friday above the fast moving average. We currently have a continuation in that move. Now for Roku, I like to be maxed out at 8 shares, and that's 2 shares per book, but I'm not able to purchase all 2 shares or both of the shares of the book, but I will purchase one because I like to spend as much money as possible. I like to be fully invested. I want to be fully invested in the S&P 500 as long as we have the S&P 500 in an upward trend. I want to be fully invested. I typically do not like to buy partial books, but in this case, I'm going to go ahead and do that because Roku is in an upward trend, and I want to take advantage of this move. So we're looking to buy 1 share at 151. And we've got it, $100.50. Now that we've bought that share, we're total up at 7 now. This limit order here for 2 shares, this is from a day trading trade. But since I try to day trade all of the shares that I own, let me rephrase that. I like to try to trade at 1 book of all of the companies that I own shares in. And this price was at a price that fell, so I was unable to sell that at a profit. But we now have a lower price of a purchase price of $100.50, which now becomes our new book that we day trade with. So we're going to cancel this limit order. And now when price changes direction and starts to go down on us on our day trading strategy, we'll try to sell the one share that we just bought, and hopefully we'll be able to sell that at a profit. And then we'll buy back in when price moves back up. And with that, we are finished all of our sells and all of our purchases for the day. Right now we'll go back to our S&P 500 chart. See how we did for the remainder of the day. So we did go up a little bit more during the making of the video. And for now, we will go and we'll take a look at our watch list, show you what we did for the day. So we sold SoFi, SOFI. We put in sell orders for Natera and Zoom, and we bought 1 share of Roku. So that's what we did for today. So now we'll take a look at our realized gains for the day and our portfolio performance. All right, and here for today, I have realized gains of $606.02, where roughly $70 to $75 of that is from the sale of SoFi. The rest is from day trading. Our portfolio performance in this newer account, since I opened it on August 19th, we're looking at 5.87% compared to the S&P 500 at 3.77%. And the old account prior to transferring the funds to the newer account, we were at 16.26 compared to the 10.54% of the S&P 500. And combined, currently, my account, we are at 22.13%. compared to the S&P 500 at 14.31, which is a 7.82% difference that I am outperforming the S&P 500. Again, keep in mind that a good portion of today's realized gains, almost all of it is from day trading. We are also outperforming the S&P 500 if we were to just calculate all of our swing trades, although it wouldn't be by 7%. Be more like 3 or 4% difference in the swing trading activities compared to the S&P 500. And with that, we are done this Monday. I hope you all have an absolutely amazing rest of your Monday afternoon.